you're okay with playing music from a cat that used to shit all over a girl's face. Just smell that. And tell me. It's Danie and Kevin, the podcast.
Hello, I'm Danie B.
I'm Kevin Khan. We're failed radio hosts that lost our job and decided to make a podcast.
In a ball pit because we're children.
We're not fucking children.
I feel like we need to address that first. Make sure you
We're not failed. I'm sorry.
No, I feel like we need to address the ball pit.
What, do that shit?
Wait a minute. First of all, like, subscribe. Make sure you share. We've been getting some new subscribers. Welcome to the channel, guys.
I appreciate you.
We've been getting some new listeners, new views. We appreciate you guys leaving comments. Make sure you leave a 5-star review if you're listening to us in the auditory form. If you're watching us on YouTube, again, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends about us as we try to grow this thing. But I was gonna say, what is this you're eating? Why are we eating?
It's actually lean ground beef with white rice and a spicy mayo.
So deconstructed sushi in a way.
Absolutely. No.
Deconstructed
and ground
deconstructed. No, it was the spicy mayo that made my mind go there. The spicy mayo and the rice.
You see me make it? I made it like in 20 minutes.
I know I seen you make it, but I'm like, why are we eating on the podcast? Like, what are we doing? Not the.
So, excuse me. We had a very eventful week.
Yeah.
There's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
I felt like everybody found it funny that you got into a fight with a squirrel the other day.
Yeah, people did think that was funny.
It's either that or how much I didn't believe in you.
No, people thought it was because of the squirrel, bear, hurricane all in one sentence.
Oh, it's a lot.
It was that. Yeah. So if you haven't seen last week's episode, definitely check it out. I got confronted by a bear, squirrel, and hurricane in the same week. So check out that episode. It's called The Bear. But go ahead.
But you know what? I want to touch into, at least for this week. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like you and I haven't really had a thorough conversation, like a real conversation about how you've been doing in nightlife. Because just to be real, just to be real, you're not, I wouldn't say you're the nightlife connoisseur.
No, I'm not a club girl.
I definitely brought you to the streets.
You did. I had never been drunk until I met you.
We'll get into that story one day. But I definitely brought you to downtown Orlando.
Right. You did. You and Jessica Bonilla.
Now you're working every single night.
Not every single night.
Wait.
A lot of nights. 3 nights.
Wednesday,
Friday, and Saturday. Yeah.
But yeah, I do this for a living.
Yeah.
So how is the adjustment, and what is your overall take working in the nightlife, and that being, I guess, would you say that's your main source of income? Because I know you got multiple sources, but
that's the main source now.
Look at that.
Yeah, like
it's for the streets.
Yeah, the money. I don't even want to. I'll say it. The money that I was making with my base salary in radio here at Power 95.3, my base salary, that's without extra stuff, endorsements. You get endorsements is like I'm endorsing. That's the money right there. That's like, oh my gosh, this endorsement. Drink this water. This is great water.
It really be
for
like
real.
That.
That's really what an endorsement is. So without endorsements and without those events, we gonna be at the Walmart giving out t-shirts, come through, you know what I'm saying? Those are extra money, but just the radio job itself, working 3 nights a week at the club, I'm making the same amount of money.
Oh, crazy.
So I didn't even think a career. I remember you did it as a DJ, but as an MC, that has been one of the most mind-opening things for me. Is like, dang, like I see how people make a living doing this. Right. For real. Like, I thought it was only the DJ.
I always was taught, obviously from the cats that were before me, to never settle in what it is exactly. Like, if I'm gonna be here, I better make something out of it and try to broaden it. Like, there's no, you gotta find. There's no getting comfort in this industry at all. Getting comfortable. You want to be able to figure out what's the next move.
I agree with that
every single time. Every time, what's the next move?
I agree with that.
All right. And like I've even gotten to the place where I'm like, there's some clubs. I even mentioned one, and you'll be surprised. There's some clubs where it's just like I've grown to a place where I'm like, yo, like I've been here for years. What the hell is next? Could you imagine that's patio?
No, because that's your party that you built and that's your baby, and you was like, I'm not giving this up for nothing. I'm gonna be here forever.
It's to a point where it's like, all right, do I move on or do I find a way to revamp? You know what I mean? So it's like it's always a constant of evolution and a constant, like, you know, okay, I gotta figure out what the hell is next. I gotta figure out what the hell is next, you know. So continue, but it's been a ride. Yeah,
it's been cool. One of the things that when I was first approached about coming to the clubs, you know, I would do stuff for the clubs and stuff with radio. And then when I was younger in Atlanta, I did club stuff all the time. I was like, okay, I'm coming here, I'm gonna do my work and I'm gonna leave or whatever. Right. But, you know, now I'm in my 30s. And like when I was first approached, I was like, am I too old to be here? Like, I feel out of place. I feel like I'm going backwards. This is gonna suck. But then I'm learning the people who actually run the business of the club, the people who actually run the club, you know, the person at the door, some of the bartenders, the managers, the people who mess with the money, they're all in their 30s. And I'm like, oh, so it was cool to kind of learn the backside of the club. And I'm like, oh, this is, well, you know, but like now being in it, it's like, okay, this is a business. This person does this, this person does this, this person does this. And yes, the people coming here may be 18, 20, 25, whatever, and they're partying, but the people making this thing happen, these are adults, and this is a career for some people, and this is your job. And so we come in, yes, we're having fun, but this is a job, and this is how we make this work. And so that's been really, really cool to learn, especially at the certain club I'm at. Like I'm on Beecham on Fridays and Saturdays, for instance. It's such a machine the way they run it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in a movie.
Piggybacking on the thing that you said, that is, it's a job, right? Has it been difficult to kind of explain to like maybe your friends back home, or just like your parents, or just people just be like, look, my job is a host and like, and how do you feel?
It is weird because I do kind of feel like sometimes I do feel like, okay, I need to be doing something with my life, but then I'm like, no, this is like good money. This is money. Great. This is my life, and this is actually not bad. But for in the beginning it was tough, and especially with my boyfriend, because he is if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Like structured. He's very like, he's from New York, and you know they have that hustle grind, that hustle mentality to them, where it's like, yo, you get a job, you go to work. Work is 9 to 5. Like, what's this? 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, what's that? And then for him, the safety aspect of it, like you're a girl and you want to be out at 2:00 in the morning, and I know you're working, and I see, you know, the money's coming in, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been technically out of work for a year and a half. The money's coming in. I haven't had to ask like help on this, or, I need you to cover me this week, because I haven't had to do none of that because the money's coming in from the club. So it's like, I see it, but at the same time, I'm not a fan, because I feel like it puts you in a dangerous space.
Got you.
And I have had some dangerous things happen, so that's the bad side of it.
Well, I mean, let's start with the fact that Orlando is fucking Grand Theft Auto right now. Orlando is Gotham City.
Can we be real? Can I talk about it?
I mean, we can laugh about it, but it's kind of sad.
Scary.
It's kind of sad.
They were shooting at me.
They were not shooting at you.
They were shooting at me.
They weren't shooting at you.
They were shooting at me.
You were not the target. They weren't.
But they were shooting in my direction.
Okay, so breathe. They weren't shooting at you.
Let me back up. Let me back up.
Breathe.
Because that just I had forgot about it, but that made me think.
This happened how long ago?
This is probably now like a month ago now.
Okay. Yeah, so there was a situation of a carjacker. You may have seen the story on the news. It was all over the news. And Danie got caught into it.
Bruh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bruh. So I don't even remember what happened. You can look the story up online. But I'm literally trying to get to the club. I'm trying to get to work. And I'm proud of myself, because usually I'm making it right to time.
Right.
I'm like, I'm supposed to be on stage 11 o'clock. Bam, I'm here at 11 o'clock. This week I was like, you know what? This is a job. Let me be responsible. So I'm gonna get there 15 minutes before. So I'm a responsible person. I have initiative. I'm making accounts for any mishaps that may happen to make sure I'm still on time.
Right.
So I get there. I'm pacing to get there like 15 minutes early. I'm like, okay, look at me. I'm making good time. I made it through traffic, whatever. I'm at the light. If any of you know downtown Orlando, the Beecham is on Orange, and there's a street that I always go, Washington. So I'm on Washington because I'm trying to find parking. Yeah. So I'm at the light of Washington and what's the street that goes that way? It's Washington, the street. Rosalind? Not Rosalind, that's too far. Garland. So I'm at the corner. If you know downtown Orlando, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm at Washington and Garland. Yeah. There's a parking lot on the right side of me across the street and a parking lot on the left side across the street. Yeah. I never park over there because it's dark. It looks sketchy. I don't ever park over there. And so I'm at the light. I'm on the phone with my friend, Dennis Martinez, our friend we've talked about on our old program. I'm on the phone with him at the light. We're just talking. And I hear pop, pop. And he goes, are they shooting? And I was like, I'm looking around. I was like, oh snap, I think they're shooting, because in the parking lot that again is on the right side of the street across the way, because I'm still at the light, the parking lot that's there, I see people start running. I was like, oh snap, they're shooting. I gotta get out of here. So the light turns green, I book it across the intersection. As soon as I get in the intersection, a police car is coming from the right side down Garland, speeding, lights on, whoop, whoop. You know, when police comes, you're supposed to stop. So I'm kind of in the intersection, but I'm not all the way to the other side. So I just freeze and I stop because I don't know where this cop is going. He hooks a right. And so now he's in front of me. I'm trying to go forward through the intersection. Right. He hooked a right. Now he's in front of me. Somebody runs out into the street from the parking lot where I saw the people running, and they go, they're shooting over there. They're shooting over there. They're shooting over there. I was like, oh my gosh, they're shooting. As it like you couldn't even blink. All this happened like in a span of like maybe 30 seconds. As soon as that happened, a SUV comes out of the parking lot, like freaking Scarface. I'm in the car. My friend Dennis goes, what? Are they shooting over there? I was like, I'm literally like the steering wheel like this. Like, you know, you drive the car and the steering wheel's like in front of you, like in front of your chest. Yeah. I literally in the car like this. So my arms are outstretched and I'm like up under the steering wheel like this. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? They're shooting. What do I do? Dennis is on the phone. Dennis says, get down. Get the fuck down. Get down. I was like, ah! It's funny now, but I was fucking terrified. And yeah, he almost hit my car coming out of the parking lot. Ended up being like a high-speed chase. They ended up getting him the next day. But I was like, oh my gosh, he almost shot me. What do I do? What do I do? So he leaves and I'm like, so now the cops are all coming toward me. I'm trying to get out of the way. I'm literally in the middle of this shit. Yeah. I'm trying to get out of the way. They kind of hook around me and I was able to get to parking or whatever. And I called them. I still made it on time though. But why y'all shooting? Why y'all gonna shoot with me?
That's not.
I'm the most no smoke person. Why are we shooting around me?
Well, I'm glad you're safe.
I'm glad I'm alive because they was trying to shoot me.
Right? No, I'm just kidding. It's not.
You've been in a shooting before. You told me about shootings you've been in.
Honestly, but here's the thing. There's been multiple shootings in downtown Orlando.
This is crazy.
I wouldn't even say. I mean, there was a moment in time where it was like almost every other week. But now it's not like that. Now it's getting better. Right. But then it's like it's good. And then out of nowhere, boom, the worst happens. Right. All the damn time, you know? But the thing that I tell people when they come to Orlando is like, yo, like, because they like to judge the city first, you know? And I'll say it like, bro, Orlando's reckless sometimes, man. Like,
it is. People think reckless. It's the land of Disney, but...
And that's why, like, the club scenes have been tightening up on it so much. Like, they took marijuana out the clubs. They took, they're making you lower the volume to a certain decibel to kind of control what's going on in there. I think it's been a little bit less on that, but they still come to patio sometimes and tell me to take it down a notch.
I've seen, they do the same thing where I am.
And then another thing is, from my understanding, they're making the clubs also pay for more police enforcement.
Yeah, more police and more security.
You know what I'm saying?
And certain types of
like
security.
If you go to the club sometimes, right? If you look on the receipt, it'll say like another tax, and that tax is actually towards police enforcement.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's how they're paying for it.
That's how they're paying for it. Which drinks are getting a little bit more pricier,
right?
In some places, you know. Again, like what I tell people when they come out here is, yo, there's danger everywhere you go. Mm-hmm. Okay, you just gotta know where you're at. You know, you gotta know Orlando. That if you're gonna come out here by yourself, come with someone that you know that knows the goddamn city. You know, mm-hmm. Or just don't put your fucking nose in where you don't belong. You know, it's very simple, because it's, again, going back to what you said, it's happened to me multiple times. Like, I mean, bro, on Pine Street alone, you know how many shootings have happened on Pine Street? Pine Street's not far from Washington.
It does seem to always be the same spots, because I remember a shooting happened before. It was like on Washington.
No, it wasn't on Washington. It was
that area.
It was in front near Wall Street, where the.
No, I feel like there was another one on Washington one time, like outside of where Patio is. It wasn't on that street in front of the pizza place.
I can't remember.
I feel like it's just been so many things. Who knows?
I can't remember. Yeah, but I mean, again, like, it's a matter of knowing your surroundings and also minding your fucking business. You know, because there's people that get caught up in it because they see a fight pop out, and they want to
go see.
The brawl is popping out, and of course, we're in a day where social media is like, we got to get this on camera. You know, so now they're standing with a camera, and then shots are fired, and you're complaining like, oh my God, I got in the mix up with this shooting. No, because something went down and you didn't mind your fucking business and go to your goddamn car.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. I mean, random stuff does happen to people too, though.
There's danger absolutely everywhere. Should it lessen in Orlando? Absolutely. But, you know, like, there's only so much you can control. And if you gotta just know your surroundings a little bit more and mind your motherfucking business, then you can do that.
Well, I tried to mind my business, and they was shooting at me.
Yeah.
They was shooting at me.
They weren't shooting at you.
Yes, they was.
No, they were not.
I swore them I was there. You wasn't there.
You were not.
They tried. You remember King Bash? They tried to make me late. They tried to.
I don't remember that at all. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's all a part of the job. And explaining that to your family, like being in nightclub
being
all
in
the
a shooting. They was like my boyfriend, he was like, I get this is your job, but he was like,
I don't know. And I know him.
He was like, and then my brother was like, so you quit, right? And I'm like,
I gotta pay the bills. It's so real. It's so real. And then, especially in the position that you're in too, it's not something that you can just reapply for.
Right.
Does that make sense? You are entertainment. You are booked.
It's literally connections and who you know and who has seen what you can do. Correct. And you know, people having faith in you type vibe, as opposed to, oh, I looked at the resume, everything checks out, great, right, you got the job. Like, no, it's connections. Correct. And relationships. So
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like me personally, again, like I've been DJing there, bro. I've been DJing there since I was 21. Yeah, I remember. And then for a minute, I was a jit. I was out there running the street, you know? So it honestly hasn't changed. It
hasn't changed, the same stuff, but different day.
I think the only thing that it changed was the sense. It has gotten a lot more rough after COVID, obviously.
Well, you know? Yeah, but that's the everywhere. The
politics of it is the same. Like, if I was to leave a gig and be like, "Look, guys, I'm done with you. Like, I don't want to work with you no more," and then I just so happen to decide to come back and be like, "Hey, you want me back?" You know, there's probably someone cheaper that they're gonna hire. They'd be like, "Well, why the hell are we gonna hire you back since you left in day one?"
Right, you know? And he's doing it for cheaper.
Correct.
And we're getting the same results.
So it's a very hard lifestyle and all. So that's outside the club, but what's going on inside the club? What you been dealing with? 'Cause that's another world too.
Yeah, I will say, as a female MC, it's kind of an unspoken thing. MC, I sound like I'm a rapper.
MC,
not MC light, but as a female host,
okay,
at least I feel like this, and I've always felt like this. I feel like you really have to prove yourself because people look at you as a girl, like, oh, you a girl, you ain't really doing nothing on that mic. Like, you're not commanding the crowd. Because as a girl, and then as I approach mic work too, I do it like I'm talking to girls. I say stuff that I would say to my friends. I say stuff that, you know, when I'm going out with my friends, that's what I say to each other, like to hype each other up. I don't speak like a man.
Right.
So I have had instances where guys would come up and be like, yo, you should say this. You should say this. And
that's
it's like, why didn't you say it? And I'm like, because I'm not a man and that sounds stupid. And you don't tell me what to do. Like,
well, I'll be a hundo. It's not even just you. Like, because people in the vicinity just want to be on the mic, they feel the need to say something. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been done to me. It's been like, yo, you should say this. Yo, you should say this. Hey, man, come on, say this. And it's like, bro, they hired me to do my
job. Yeah. And then some of the stuff that they've been asking me to say, like, yeah, tell them to smack their best friend on the ass. And I'm like, let's do it then, okay? Me. Go ahead, smack your best friend on the ass. That feels fucking weird for me to say.
I'm not gonna lie, I say that.
No, but you're a man.
Yeah, true.
You're a man.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, if you came in here with your best friend, go ahead, smack your best friend booty and say him.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? Like, I could say the same way, same thing, but I say it a little bit more feminine.
Right.
But they be like, yo, smack your friend's best friend, smack your best friend's ass. I'm like, no, I'm not. If somebody told me to do that, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, so that's been interesting too. Like, but it's also been cool because as a female NC, a lot of the girls that I encounter have really been giving me props. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is an example of representation matters. Like, I've had girls come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, you're killing it. You're up there on stage and all these dudes are around you and you're killing it and you're just commanding the stage. And I've had girls be like, how do you figure out what to say? Like, I like when you're on the mic, you're hyping me up and da-da-da-da-da, because I make a point of that because I hate going to clubs where dudes are just talking. And I'm like, I want to dance. I'm a girl. Like, I want to twerk. So I speak to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, girls are out. We want to have fun. Like, yeah, I say stuff to the fellas too, but my main concern when I'm hosting and stuff is making sure the girls feel comfortable to dance.
That's not just you too. Like, I'm very about the ladies, and honestly, I don't.
Because you gotta make them comfortable.
Every DJ should be about the ladies, to be honest. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I approach it the same way I did with the radio. I remember our programmers are like, okay, our target is females. If women come to the table, the men are gonna come because the girls are there.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
And as a man, do you want to be in a club full of dudes?
No, hell no.
See? You know, so that's why it's not like forget the dudes, but that's the mentality that I have. So that's been cool.
Honestly, and this is why I value, I mean, I could do a VIP service club any night. Like, I'm conditioned to do every single club at this point, you know? But I will always value an intimate, no VIP service club. I will always value that because it's like it's a sense of like, it brings me back to like the house party days. It's like, yo, like, go grab a drink, or fuck off. You know what I mean? And just have some fun. Everybody's out standing on the sides of the fucking the club, swaying left to right,
and just looking at each other,
staring at each other like wrestlers. It's terrible. It's absolutely fucking terrible, man. I hate like that wrestlers. Shit. I hate that shit. Just like ready to fucking jump in and shit.
You just made me think. You just triggered something. Finish your thought.
I'm not big on. I love VIP. Like I said, I could do a VIP club. You know, easy game. But I love like being able to just be in with everybody that's going there, like in the vibe and playing intimately with everybody that's drinking and dancing and enjoying their time.
Right.
You know?
I have a question for you as a DJ.
Okay.
And this, you might have heard this before, but it gets played out. So this is something that I'm noticing that I'm in the club now. Okay. Some DJs be playing R. Kelly.
Okay, this is played out.
And it makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, let's
because because I had not been in the club, so I had not been ingesting that or hearing that or anything. But out of nowhere, I'll hear like Iman's telling me no, and I'm like, oh, Aaliyah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think, and I'm like, I can't. So how do you maneuver those situations? Because that's weird.
Let me jump on the topic. That
for me is weird.
This is all played out, and the fact that this is even a topic is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shouldn't even be a fucking topic.
Yo,
you know, and that's what bothers me. I know, like, there's a lot of people that are like, yo, you could separate the art from whatever, but you got to remember too, the art that was painted was depicted or like derived from fucking what actually happened.
Situations.
Do you see what I'm saying? And again, let's not spend any more energy on this, because whoever did that shit, like, we're gonna have a long talk.
I'm not gonna do
for
that.
For me personally, like, I'm not gonna play R. Kelly. And I was in another podcast and we spoke about this too. And it was like very pressuring, because they told me, they were like, you don't play R. Kelly, but why do you play Michael Jackson? Why do you play this? Why do you play that? I'm like, first of all, I barely play Michael Jackson like that anyways, you know? But it was alleged. And it also wasn't in my face as much as R. Kelly was in my face. Like, that shit was like, what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, like they just did, like,
and then they had a whole documentary on the motherfucker.
And one of the girls was from Orlando.
And all the girls that it had, like, just think about it, okay? You're okay with playing music from a cat that used to shit all over a girl's face. Just smell that. And tell me.
When I read that,
do you see what I'm saying?
Bad.
Like, it's just shit like that, and then you really dig deep into it, and you like, damn, age ain't nothing but a number.
Right.
And then you find out too, those background vocals is him singing in the background. You know what I mean? So like, immediately when the documentary came out, when the whole situation came out, when everything went viral, it was so apparent and in my face. I went in my library, it was like, R. Kelly, delete, and just took it all out of my fucking library, because I don't even want the chance to play that shit in the club, because it doesn't. And me and DJ Koo, he's from Tampa. We spoke about this, and it's like, we're in a predicament where we want to be able to have fun, engage with our friends, fucking forget life, have good energy. You know what I'm saying? Good, just like, enjoy your fucking night. Why am I gonna play something controversial that's gonna take you out of that moment, just to sit there and be like, damn, like, you playing R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh shit, like, he's playing this right now?
It's
like,
funny that's how you break it down, because that's exactly how I felt. Because when I heard, you know, when I'm in the club and I hear, my mind's telling me no, or I hear, it's the Pied Piper of R&B, y'all. I'm like,
it's unsettling, isn't it? You know what Pied Piper is?
You know what that means?
Pied Piper is a little motherfucker that used to play the flute and bring all the young motherfuckers to his little cave and steal the children. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
uncomfortable. So it's like why play something to make people feel like, granted, it's still like, he's a genius. He was a musical genius and all that. He made great music.
It's fucking upsetting.
But it just, like, play that in your house. Like, I don't want it. It be making me uncomfortable, child.
I know and you know what's funny? I've even tried, in a sense of like, try to just turn on, because one of my favorite songs from him was Ignition, the Ignition remix. That's, you know, so I was like, I turned, and just the thought of it being him, I was like, nah, I can't.
Like, even thinking about the lyrics now, I feel uncomfortable. Right. Mama rolling that body, got every man in here. Was she 16?
That's not funny, but that's
how my brain goes for real.
It's true. That's exactly
that's where my brain goes now with him.
Let's just wrap this up and just throw it the fuck away, because in general, if you're a DJ and you're still playing R. Kelly in the club, man, there's a problem. Right? Anyways, thank you for listening. As always, you can follow us at Danie and Kevin on IG. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the new people that are following and watching. And hey, we will see you next week.